Hey everyone, Raider here. Hope you're all doing great and having a fantastic day. So in today's video, we're going to tackle the question, should you buy the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra now, or should you wait for the Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra when it releases later this year? So we're going to go over all the talking points of what's great about this tablet and whether or not I think you should wait or just go ahead and pick up the Tab S8 Ultra. So I've had this tablet since February of 2022, so I'm going on 1 year with it. And I will say right up front at the beginning of this video, this is by far my favorite tablet that I've ever owned of all time. And I've owned quite a few Galaxy tablets. Most recently prior to this would be the Tab S7 Plus, and I also have the iPad Mini 6 right now. I love this tablet, absolutely. So let's talk about what we're gonna likely see with the Tab S9 Ultra when it comes out later this year. Because let's keep that in mind, it's not coming out right now. That's for sure. We're going to see the S23 line and we're going to see the Galaxy Book 3 line come out in February. These Galaxy tablets come out every 18 months, not every year like the phones. So 18 months puts us right around August. So we should see the Tab S9 Ultra come out right alongside the Fold 5. We may also see a flex and rollable version as well. So the question is, should you buy now or should you wait for that model? So let's take a look at what the differences are going to be. This one I know for sure is going to be a case for the Tab S9 Ultra, and that is it will have Wi-Fi 7 as opposed to Wi-Fi 6E that we have here on the Tab S8 Ultra. Wi-Fi 6E to me is blazing fast. We're looking at 9.6 gigabits per second as opposed to 46 gigabits per second, which we're going to see on Wi-Fi 7. But here's the question you have to ask yourself. You have to do a real reality check. How relevant is Wi-Fi 7 going to be in the next 2 to 3 years? I mean, I literally just got my hands on Wi-Fi 6 earlier in 2022. I mean, so it's still new to me. So I don't know about you guys, but Wi-Fi 6E devices right now are already so expensive. And I just can't even imagine the price of Wi-Fi 7. So I think for the average consumer, unless you're like super rich and it's not a problem for you, but I think for the average consumer, you're not going to really retrofit and outfit your home with Wi-Fi 7 until the prices start to drop down. I mean, even good Wi-Fi 6E routers right now are in the hundreds of dollars. So I can't even imagine what the rates for Wi-Fi 7 routers are going to be when they come out. So Wi-Fi 7, that's almost a guarantee on the Tab S9 Ultra because we're already hearing about it with the S23 line. I guess that future-proofs you, but I mean, the reality is I don't see too many people getting much use out of that, at least not in the foreseeable future. So the next thing I want to talk about, and I'm really hoping this happens, and this would be like a nice reason to just perhaps hold off and pick up the Tab S9 Ultra and just kind of wait it out a little bit. And that is, I'm hoping, and this is a big hope, and I know a lot of us have been pushing for this, but there is a good likely chance that we will get some type of LTE or 5G option on the Tab S8 Ultra to where we only have the Wi-Fi variant here with the Tab S8 Ultra. Speaking of cell service, I have something really exciting to share with you guys. So effective immediately, Raider Tech has partnered with Mint Mobile. With Mint Mobile, you and your family can save a ton on cell phone service. Plans starting as low as $15 a month. Bring your own device, grab a device from them, eSIM, regular SIM, doesn't even matter. Get 100% legit with Mint. Link down in the description and the QR code is on your screen. And if you use either of these to make a purchase through Mint, whether it be a new plan or a new device, a small proceed goes to the channel and it costs you nothing additional. Really appreciate your support. Mint Mobile, here to save you money for your US cell phone service. Available to US residents only. Back to the video. All right, we're back. So super awesome. I am definitely stoked to be working with Mint Mobile. Hopefully you guys check them out. Please use the link down in the description. Helps the channel out, and I'll be putting any proceeds that I get from that right back into the channel. That's a guarantee. So I'm super excited to work with Mint moving forward in the future. Let's talk about the next thing that we're likely going to see with the Tab S9 Ultra, and that is a difference with the screen. So Samsung is really pushing for brighter displays, especially as of this past year. So they came out with a QD OLED panel, Quantum Dot OLED, called the S95B in early 2022. And now this year they're releasing two models, the S90C and the S95C. These TVs get blazing bright. They're pushing around 2,000 nits of brightness. So I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of this tech trickle down into the mobile space and we may likely see it introduced on the Tab S9 Ultra. So we'll likely see either QD OLED or a multi-stacked OLED implementation that can really push the brightness up. For this panel here, this is a 2960 by 1848 pixel display, so pushing 3K. Basically, it is a 3K display, 16 by 10, 14.6 inches, and we're pushing about 420 to 450 nits of brightness, depending on where you look, and 500 nits of brightness for HDR. So I would bet that that brightness level is going to go up significantly on the Tab S9 line. And I also feel like more devices coming up down the road, like the Fold 5, the S24 line, on and on, they're going to have much brighter screens as well. But here's the kicker though. So this display to me gets plenty bright in pretty much any indoor situation. I have yet to once ask myself or say to myself, gosh, I wish I just had a little bit more brightness. That has not once happened with this display. So I think for most users, this brightness is going to be more than sufficient, especially if you're indoors. If you're out around coffee shops and whatnot, I still think you're going to be fine if you're in the shade. I haven't had any issues. I think it's a plenty bright enough screen. Let's go ahead and max this out a little bit. I don't know how that's going to come through on camera, but I mean, it is plenty bright. That is like brighter than I would enjoy using this for a long period of time. Actually, I'm going to crank that back down a little bit. That's just a little too much. You know, a couple of things though to keep in mind. When it comes to screen brightness on OLED panels, anything OLED based, this is Super AMOLED, it's kind of better in a way to have that brightness at least a little bit constrained, because then you're minimizing any risk of burn-in and screen retention, or image retention is what I should say. And so that's pretty much mitigated by keeping the brightness at a more feasible level. To me, like I said, totally usable, plenty bright. If you're wanting that ultra scorching bright screen, you're probably going to see it with the Tab S9 Ultra, so that's something to keep in mind. The next thing to keep in mind that I think we're going to see a change for is the S Pen. So right now, the S Pen, to me, is absolutely awesome on the S8 Ultra. So this gives you 2.8 milliseconds of latency. We have the Bluetooth Air commands, so this one can be charged and you can do, you know, all the nice stuff via air commands, like taking pictures, turning up and down your volume. And I will say, out of this, my Fold 4 and my Galaxy Book 2 Pro 360, the Tab S8 Ultra is by far my favorite S Pen experience. But what I do expect to come with the Tab S9 Ultra, and I've seen a couple reports of them working on this, is this latency is apparently going to get under 1 millisecond. We're looking at 0.8 of a millisecond to 1 millisecond. I'm seeing like back and forth reports on them, but they are working on the latency. But this kind of reminds me of the whole Wi-Fi 7 thing. Is this really important to you? Because I'll tell you right now, 2.8 milliseconds, which by the way is the fastest stylus you can use. This blows the Apple Pencil Gen 2 out of the water, and this blows all other S Pens out of the water. They're at 9 milliseconds. This is at 2.8. And I'll tell you what, writing on this screen, I swear, it feels like you're writing on paper. It's that low latency. There's that little a lag to where it really does feel real time. To me, this is like, as far as S Pens go, this is an A+ experience. I don't think there's another Galaxy device that's going to surpass your experience you're going to have on the Tab S8 Ultra. So waiting for that 1 millisecond latency, I don't know. I just don't know how much you're going to really see that, to be honest. Because I just can't see it being any faster than it is right now. I mean, this is really, really impressive. So let's talk about the next thing too. So one thing I hope they do improve on, which I am not a fan of on the Tab S8 Ultra, is this. Let me grab it real quick. This book cover keyboard thing. I am not a fan. You can hear it clicking here while I do this stuff. This is just really a cheaply built keyboard. Yeah, it has backlighting. Yes, you can customize some of the controls. We've done a full video of this on the channel, how to get the most out of this keyboard. But I'm sorry, I am just not a fan of how this feels. I'm not a fan of the added weight that it adds to the Tab S8 Ultra. However, the one part that I do like about it a lot is this kickstand cover on the back, you know, that I use as a, just as a stand like you would attach to your phone. I leave this on here 100% of the time. I absolutely love this part. So my recommendation though, and I know I'm getting off a little sidetracked as far as Tab S8 Ultra versus Tab S9 Ultra, But for those of you interested in possibly picking this up, I would just grab like a $45 Bluetooth keyboard that can connect to multiple devices, and grab yourself a Bluetooth mouse and save, about $100 to $150 as opposed to paying the outlandish price for this back stand plus keyboard. And you can buy this separately. There's a bookcase cover or whatever it is that doesn't have the keyboard on Samsung's site, which is very similar to this one, which will just give you that kickstand. And there's plenty of options on Amazon and all that as well. So, I do hope they improve that keyboard. I would shy away from it if I were you guys. I've grown to like it less and less as time has gone on, and I use that less and less. Primarily, I just keep it attached. Here, let me show you. I keep it attached so it's just a nice cover, for the tablet. So it kind of keeps it like a laptop. So the next thing I want to talk about is price. So back in February, when I pre-ordered this 12 gigabyte RAM, 256 gigabyte storage Tab S8 Ultra, I paid $599 with trade-in. I'll put it up on the screen. And the actual price that Samsung had on their site during the pre-order time was $1,199 for this particular model. Currently, for the Tab S8 Ultra on Samsung's site, this exact model is going for $1,079, which means in the past year, it's only dropped $120 as far as what you're buying this for. And you can pick up the lower 8 gigabyte, 128 gigabyte storage option for $999. So the resale value is really holding up really well for the Tab S8 Ultra. And here's where I'm going with this. So on Amazon right now, you can pick these up refurbished with warranty all day long for about $800. Now, I mentioned that trade-in price that I paid, right? $599. That's because I got $600 for the Tab S7 Plus. I guarantee you, you're going to get at least that, if not more, for the Tab S8 Ultra when you go to trade it in for the Tab S9 Ultra. So if you're able to pick up a Tab S8 Ultra and right now, and let's say that Tab S9 Ultra comes out and it blows you away. Let's say they throw in 3 or 4 more features that we haven't even touched on that are just mind-boggling good. You're like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have got the Tab S8 Ultra. Well, if you end up picking it up refurbed or wait for it to go on sale, you would probably get most, if not almost all, of what you paid for it in trade-in value for the Tab S9 Ultra. So instead of waiting 5 to 6 months for that tablet to come out, I would say enjoy the Tab S8 Ultra now and make your final buying decision at the time that the Tab S9 Ultra launches. Do the trade-in, get a refurb, get one used, get it cheap. Get the Tab S8 Ultra cheap, especially if you're not sure. And you're going to be able to trade that in and get almost entirely what you paid out of it. And then you'll be able to pick up the Tab S9 Ultra for probably $200-300. What would I do? Let me share what I would do. For me personally, like if I didn't have this at all, honestly, I would probably pick up the Tab S8 Ultra now. Because to be quite honest with you, I really don't see how Samsung's going to improve on this like by a leaps and bounds measure with the Tab S9 Ultra. I just don't see it happening. I really don't. And this right here is already a completely polished experience. Again, a 14.6-inch screen. This has quad speakers. It sounds amazing. It looks amazing. The S Pen input is amazing. So what are we going to really get? What are they going to bring to the table? So now's a great time to pick this up at a reduced price. Try it out. I really don't think the Tab S9 Ultra is going to blow this away in any regard. I think we'll see the brightness, and I think for sure we'll see the Wi-Fi 7. But are those really big deals? Again, plenty bright indoors, no issues for me. So my recommendation, if I were to give one, Tab S8 Ultra. This thing has just been a beast. It has been an awesome machine. I have zero complaints about this tablet. Other than it's kind of big, but you kind of know what you're getting into when you get a tablet this big, right? So that's to be expected. It has not disappointed me at all. Super fast, reliable, no issues. All the updates have been smooth. So, and that's the other thing too, is we still have updates for a long time to come on this because this is a newer generation since Samsung started rolling out more security and more software updates for a longer period of time. So you're going to be locked into future updates for 2.5 years to come and 3.5 on security, something like that. So you still got ample time to keep getting those updates. So I think the Tab S8 Ultra now is the way to go. I mean, why miss out on 6 months' time sitting there waiting, and we don't even know exactly what it's going to entail, what's going to be included with it. So Tab S8 Ultra for the win in my book. I love this tablet. I know a lot of you have been commenting on past videos saying how much you enjoy it. I can't get enough of it. I use this thing every single day. So definitely Tab S8 Ultra in early 2023 is a great buy. It's going to be current for a long time to come. All right, if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please drop them down in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching.